Suburban Hunt 365 here with Big Dig T. I've always talked about doing some cooking videos. All my hunt buddies have been on to me about it. Apparently I do cook pretty well from what I've been told. A little bio on my cook history. My father was the oldest out of 5 siblings. 4 under him were girls. So with grandmother and girls and aunties and first cousins, and my mom's side, my grandmother was a great cook, all from Louisiana. That's my background, cooks Louisiana. So we're going to try to put together some meals that I always cook. My guys have been on me about my game videos. I hunt a lot, I fish a lot, so therefore that's what I cook a lot of. So we're going to go ahead and put this meal together. Vegetable venison lasagna. We'll start with I've got some good zucchini. We're going to wind up cutting it down noodle style. I normally cut the top off, cut the bottom off. I always remember to keep a good sharp knife. So now, we're going to go ahead and cut our zucchini and our squash down to noodle size. Once again, this is just a healthy alternative. It's what I like to use. Okay, so we're going to use, normally you would use 1.5 to 2 regular. You can use yellow onion, white onion, purple onion, whatever you like. Purple's a little bit more sweeter. Yellows have a little bit more of the Vidalia, a little bit more bite. Good Georgia onions. I grew these. These are some white onions I grew this year. Just did pretty decent with some of my onions. I do onion top sets. So we're going to use, that would be those 3 is a medium, a large, kind of our smaller one. That's probably going to be about as much as we're going to need today. And then mushrooms, portobello. Since we're doing a lasagna, an Italian style, I like my fresh basil. Boy, if you could smell that, that's pretty green. It's right out of my garden. It's some Geneva, sweet Geneva basil for growing and cooking. I also have some good chives. I try to grow a lot of herbs because that's what, to me, is what makes any meal we're going to cook with. I'm going to use some bell pepper today too. I've got a orange, a yellow, and a red. Caught them on sale. We're going to use 3 cloves of garlic. I've got just enough basil tops. Probably, I would say, a good 15, 20 nice leaves, because we're going to cut this up. The chive the same way. You don't have to use if you don't have it fresh. I tell you what they make in a can nowadays, and we're going to use some of this today. One of my #1 go-to for my tomato sauces is my red gold in a can. We don't have fresh tomatoes. We can blanch those down and make our own sauce. However, I picked these up today. Once again, on a budget, you can't go wrong. $1 a can. It's got the basil, oregano, and garlic already into it. It helps mix it up, gives it a good flavor for what we're making today. So here we go. We're going to start off with our bell peppers, cutting them up, get everything together, and keep moving forward. Hold on. Here we go. Now we got our herbs and our onions. Now we got our squash and our zucchini. We got our cheeses. Do we want to go ahead and prep it? We'll wait on that. We'll wait on that prep right there. Okay. Let's come on over here. Come on, follow me. Follow me for a second. Oh, ugly man. Okay. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and get that started on just about high. Okay. And we're going to bring, we got some olive oil. I kind of put enough in there to coat the bottom because we're going to start off with our deer meat. We're going to start off marinating some of our onion, half of our herbs, our onion and our bell pepper and garlic and stuff with our deer meat. Now look, I've got a little meat right here. This is some ground sausage that I picked up, was making some breakfast out of, had a little bit left, and a little bit of ground deer's in there, a little bit, and then just a little bit of chuck. Now that's some fat that I got to put in here with this deer meat with this oil, because this deer meat is very lean. Super lean. Alright, this right here, some of the best ground venison. We don't have to buy it. Can't normally buy it. You got to pay for a processing fee of it. So by doing so, we do our own. Okay, this is a deer that DJ and I shot last year. One of probably many that we do. So I'm gonna use this today with this ground chuck, this little ground pork mix that I have already. And I would say for the meal we're making, now these are 1 pound bags. DJ and I try to weigh it out. He feeds less in his household with it. I feed more in mine. I have there's 3 teenagers and a wife and myself. So by God, they like it. They like it. But let that get hot. Let's see what this starts to sound like. Oh, listen. Starting to hit that hissing. It's time to do it. Today, just a little seasons I'm using. I don't try not to use a lot of salt, but I am using a little garlic salt today. I do have some Tony Cacheries. I don't know if that's the correct way. Nobody has ever taught me a correct way. Cacheries. But I've always used it my whole life. Grew up with it. We lived in Louisiana. I use a no salt seasoned blend. Gives it that little Cajun pop to it. Little dried minced onion. Little crushed red peppers. About the only seasons I'm using today besides my fresh herbs, which is once again my orange bell peppers, the color I use today, and then my chives, and then a little sweet basil, my sweet basil, and then my onions. So I hear it marinating in there. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and set this right here. We're gonna get about half of that. So I'm gonna reach in and get about half of that right there like that. Oh, you hear it? That saying it likes what we're doing for it. It's like, I hear it. It said it. I like what you're doing for me, Daddy D. Woo. Like that. A little over half. That's fine. We'll save the rest of that. We're going to marry this in first. Gonna let it all up. Oh, man. That's already got the stink going on. So good. That good smell. Alright, let's let that sit for a second there. That's where our meat's going next. We're going to put it right over in here. Got that almost at high. Now here in this pot, we're going to go ahead and get our tomato sauce started at the same time. Okay, so we're going to start with a little bit of olive oil again. Coating the bottom of the pan. Remember, this is our rest of what we have. Our onion and basil and sweet bell pepper. Now I'm going to do a little bit like that. I think I'm going to give that the rest of it right there. I like the meat to have more of it. The sauce always has a good flavor as we cook, or either comes out of the can. We talked about the red gold. Yeah. Woo. Man, I wish y'all could smell that right there, y'all. I like to use a flat wooden spoon. This one here was made for me. Talk about that DST another time. Right, the garlic salt. Once again, that's probably going to be about a teaspoon once I'm done. The only salt that I use. Use my Tony's, no salt. Just good Creole mix. I'll show you how to make some of our own Creole mix here in one of these videos and have a good time. Little minced onion, dry minced onion. It just helps add that texture to it, little flavor. And in this, I'm going to add a little crushed red pepper too. Okay, so let's do it like the way I was taught. Make it easier for everybody. If I do my hand like that, that's a teaspoon right there in that bottom. Okay, about all I want in there. I'll just give a couple dashes for that for the fun of it. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and throw that pork mix I had in there. Right, start off with that, break it up. Once again, that's a ground sausage. Altogether it's about a pound's worth. We grilled burgers last night. I don't throw anything away, but I'm going to cook with it the next day, so I had a little extra burger meat. It's ground venison, ground sausage, and some 80-20 ground beef lean. Because as I'm fixing to add this deer in, this ground venison, once again, it has no fat whatsoever. It's a pound of it now, so I'm up to about 2 pounds of meat for this meal. This was vacuum sealed. Let's see, may have it dated. Nope, didn't have this one dated, but I know it was actually in December of 20. All very good venison lean. I know many people that would yearn to have that. Let's see, cook this down. I actually have another pound of the venison ready to go if needed. I think we're going to be pretty good here. Let's turn that pan around here. Watch this. That's what I want. Give me that right there. Give me a little something to bite onto that with it. There we go. I'll marry that in there. Flat one for this. And add me a little bit more oil to that. Once again, all of this is going to get mixed together. I just like to mix it separate to make the marry of it to come together. The marriage. It needs a good merge. Good marriage is good eating. Now I tell my youngins, I got some good teenagers, and they'll bring a friend over and they'll brag on their Daddy D's cooking. But I have to ask all these kids I've never met before, are you a picky eater? If they say, yes sir, I'm a picky eater, I pretty much tell them you can't eat here then. There might be some toddler food in there for them, and might be able to hook them up. And we'll use just a little butter. And when I say a little, probably a teaspoon. There's your marker lines right there. I like to use I use salted. Because once again, I don't add salt. So there's things here that we're putting in that are salt. And it's going to be for my marinade right here. Alright, cut that heat up on that meat, let it go, let this keep sauteing down. Got that on about a medium high. Can opener. Most everybody's got the fancy ones. Let's still use the old cheap crank ones. Electricity goes out. Even better, right there. Human can opener. Boom, the end. I'm gonna put a little fan on. Alright, I know that meat's going to need some seasoning. It's time to hit it one more time with a shaker valve. With garlic salt. That's going to be about a teaspoon plus right there. Get it with a little minced onion. I catch it on sale, I buy it, I use it. Alright, we're going to go with that Tony's again, right there. Little Tony's. A little over a teaspoon. Good right there. You put the kitchen sink, it's going to take it. Look at there. See the color turning and all of that? The butter's come married in with that seasoning. Ooh, yeah. How you make them jealous, boys. Look at the green locked in on that. Good colors. Now I'm going to go ahead and add that 1 can. I'm going to add that 2 cans. 2 cans. That's the roll gold. basil, garlic, oregano. If you don't find the basil, garlic, oregano, you still just use the regular rolled gold. Diced is fine. I like mine a little chunkier. I like my meals a little heartier, a little thicker. Give it that good stir. Keep it together. Keep it going. Keep it rolling. And bring that heat back up on that. It's giving flavor, I can tell already. Aha! I'm going to put just a little bit of water. Okay, just a little bit of water. I'll tell you, it's probably, when I say a little bit of water, that's no more than an eighth of a can right there. See? Make that red juice come on out. Do our oven. Let's wash that juice out. Let's not let it go to waste. Let's not let that juice go to waste. Look here, I got some little mushroom. Normally I'll start this a little later, but I want to put some of this in here. This nice portobello in here. You chop it up prior. I've been doing it long enough to know I can just put it on the fly. Yeah, I know it's probably not fresh right out of the garden, but it's not right out of the can either. And we get into those time of seasons, that's about sometimes the only way you can get some good shrooms. Oh man. Chop the rest of them up. Again, I like mine hearty. That's one small pack of portobello mushroom. Now, if you're going to give this the official love, marriage comes together right here. Oh, my lid broke. My pot broke. There we go. Still cooking. Perfect. Now, let that set. There, we had that done less than 30 minutes. All we had to do was saute our vegetables, ground our meat down with it, add our tomato sauce base, which we did the same with the onion and the bell pepper and the basil, and sauteed it down with a little butter, teaspoon of butter. Added 2 cans of the red gold. I used the oregano, basil, garlic. Don't have it, you ain't got to worry about it. We're already using a little garlic. We're already using, you can add all that into it. Now we've got it all set down, marrying on down, cooking, basting up. Next we're going to do is get our cheeses ready. And get our pans ready, get our oven ready, start baking a little bit of lasagna. All right, now for my cheese mix. Good lasagna's got to always have a good cheese. I bought this time because I caught it on sale. You don't always, you can use sliced, but this is mozzarella. I got my trusty cheese grater here, so we're gonna do some shred it down. Get it started with some good mozzarella. I love it with my mix. I use a ricotta for kind of my consistency mix. It's, you know, it's got whole milk in it and kind of a cream. You don't have to use ricotta. A poor man can use cottage cheese. Just different things just to give it, you know, a cheese flavor. Once again, lasagna comes from the old school, you know. It's just putting it together. It's not exactly a great, one's better than the other. Probably there is. I mean, I know some people that shouldn't be cooking, they're trying, which is okay. At least I'm giving them effort for trying. Alright, see if this thing won't whoop me. There we go. Let me fit it in there. Put the hammer down on it. Put a grind on it. Look there. Alright, good job. Parmesan mixed in with it. A little mixed together. Oh, I like the way that looks. And we're gonna go back over to the stove. I'm gonna put everything together and we're gonna slide it in this oven. This oven's gonna have to go in, get started. We're gonna go ahead and preheat it. Okay. Let's do 350, a good even bacon temperature. We can put a little higher sometimes. We're not, you know, basically for lasagna, it's cooked, you're just baking it all together. So to me, 350, we're gonna let it get preheated, cut it on for about 30-45 minutes. Probably what we'll run this one, depends on the thickness. And that's what we're gonna put together next. Got our meat together. We're getting everything ready to layer out. Oh, look at that, that looks wonderful. Look at the colors in that bad boy. Woo! That is going to be good, I guarantee you, peeps. I cannot stand myself when I cook this good. Alright, we'll start with a little olive oil again. Bottom of the pan. Get a little swirl, okay? Gotta have a lot. And just kind of, it doesn't have to have any other way special, but just some vegetables in the bottom of the pan. Like that, looks good, looks good, looks good. Let's get our spoon. For our meat. Put a little layer in here. Nice even layer across. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we're gonna put a little cheese mix in between there. No, he didn't do it. Well, yeah, he did. He did it. Alright, that's where I'm gonna get with a little my ricotta. There, all right. Now, I guess just a little bit of taste of that right there. Ain't nothing like that getting down in there. All right, let's do that again. All right, I like the way that looks. Woo! Hell, somebody ain't gonna like me tomorrow because they're gonna love me. Woo-wee! Here it goes. Dab it down again. Get a little mix in there with it. With this one here, the top layer, we'll give that good ricotta just a little bit more mix inside with that meat, the seasonings. That was a 1 pound container to 2 pounds of meat, just enough zucchini and squash. I'd say probably I could have done 2 zucchini and 2 squash, 2 good size of both of each to be able to get what you want out of it. There it is. We're gonna put the creme de la resistance right here on top. Blah 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 blah. Look at that. Parmesan, fresh shredded mozzarella. Ooh, my goodness. And that is it, folks. That's that easy right there. That's gonna go in the oven, 350 for 35 to 45 minutes. I have a convection oven, a Gen Air. It cooks a little bit different. Each one's somewhere different, but you want that just to where that browns up on top. So it's gonna go in like this. We'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. The timer has gone off. It is ready to pull this bad mammy jammy out. Let's let our people see just what the finished product's gonna look like, and I bet it's gonna look pretty good. Oh my goodness. It's been 45 minutes. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, look at that. Woo! There we go, right there. Number 1 vegetable venison lasagna. Ooh, I can't wait. But I tell you what we're gonna do in the meantime. We're gonna make us some po' boy garlic bread. Okay. Yeah, it is. Now, out of 4 hamburger buns, of course you're gonna get 8 pieces of bread. I'm dealing with well, there's 5 of us. So we're gonna make for sure we can do 10 pieces. That way everybody has at least 2. So let's take a couple more out. Oh heck, let's just go ahead and make the whole thing up. That's all it's going to give me on this pan. So that's what we'll make. We have a couple of buns left over. I promise these kids at the house they eat it with something. Got some just good spreadable butter here. Yeah, tell them what you want, Elrod. Tell them what you want, what you really, really want. I tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I wanna eat that food and you to quit talking. Okay, look here, we got a little garlic salt. Not much. Just kind of sprinkle that across there. Oh man. Oh man. A little bit like that. And we're going to take a little bit of that cheese that we had earlier. Oh no. Oh no, Daddy D. Don't do it. Don't do it to me. Alright, we're going to pop that back in the oven. Take it on there, bake it up. Probably take that back down to 350. Won't take as long. We now have our lasagna cooling down. And folks, next thing you're going to see is some kids who are like hostages. My goodness, they act like they never eat. That'll be my panel of people to say, did I do good or not? Now they're probably going to say I did good. They've been living with me a long time. I've been doing this a long time. Glad to share it with everybody. Suburban Hunt 365, live in the kitchen with Daddy D. Hey, it's all about lines tight and bullets right. If we didn't keep the bullets right, the deer can't come to the cook pot for me. If I don't keep the lines tight, fish can't come to the fry pot for me. And we got some recipes coming on that. We got some baked fish. I've got some wild turkey recipes. Got another good deer, another great venison recipe. I've got enough for us, and we're gonna make a next meal. And when you see us again, you're like, oh, I can't wait for that. So stay tuned. Always Suburban Hunt Live 365. See us anytime you can. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. 365 Suburban Life. Big DT out.